It's been a good year. Hey everybody! I was sitting down to put together a season recap video, and I realized that while I traveled a ton at the beginning of this year, almost none of that footage made it into videos on this channel. So instead, what I'm going to do is put together the lost episodes of 2019. Take a look. Adam Buck and I are out here on a little expedition. We're going to do a little ride the chain of lakes. Try and string together a ride from Cedar to Lake Nokomis. It's probably about 0 degrees out here. -2 degrees out here, 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm really cold. We're gonna see what happens. What are you doing, Adam?
Making sure these tires are aired down so it's gonna work.
Shortly after this ride, I heard a disturbing story. There are little channels connecting some of the lakes, which are actually flowing water. This means that they don't freeze as well as the still water of the lakes. A week or so before our ride, someone went through the ice in this very channel. They made it out, but they lost their bike. So remember, be careful out there. Frozen lakes can be super sketchy. Riding frozen lakes like this is one of my favorite things to do in the winter, and this was a great way to start my season. In late February, I took a solo trip down to Bentonville, Arkansas. I wanted to escape the winter, but when I got there, it was cold and wet, and every wooden surface had a sheen of ice. But at least I was riding dirt. The Pacific Northwest is probably my favorite region in North America, but it had been years since I'd ridden out there. So in June, I borrowed a giant pickup truck, packed it full of stuff, and set off.
I'm gonna stay on the same road for 1,700 miles. Hopefully it doesn't look like this the whole way.
The drive out took a couple of days, but went surprisingly smoothly, despite the fact that I developed a terrible cold that plagued me for the rest of the trip. Terrible sore throat this morning. I picked up a cold from my kid, so that doesn't feel super good. Alright, I got this cold. It felt like garbage. Eventually, I made it to Bellingham, Washington, where my first stop was Galbraith Mountain.
not great, but
Scheyler Mountain is right outside of Bellingham. I'd ridden here once before, but that time we shuttled to the top. Since I was alone, I decided to ride up. It was hot and it kinda hurt, but it was worth it. Whistler was a last-minute addition to this trip. It's been at least 8 years since I last rode here. I'd like to say that I rode it as well as I did 8 years ago, but I can't. I did have a blast on Scheyler, though.
all the jumps on A-line.
The new Dirt Merchant wasn't open yet, but I cased my way through A-Line. I rode an old favorite, Angry Pirate. I love that trail.
Angry Pirate. One of my favorite trails out here, especially this like twisty and technical. Fun.
I found a new favorite, Fade to Black. This trail wasn't around the last time I was here. This step up got in my head though. I know I can ride it, but it just wasn't happening this day. Still, super fun to be back in Whistler. I'm hoping to go again this year. To round out my Pacific Northwest adventure, I went back down to Washington and rode at Tiger Mountain in Issaquah. Specifically, I rode a trail called Predator.
It is
really cold up here. Probably like 10 degrees colder than it was in the parking lot. And it's wetter.
This is the type of trail I'd like to ride every day. It's fast and it's technical and there are plenty of places to get caught out, but when you put it all together, it's magical.
A really neat trail because there's all kinds of different lines for stuff. So
Thanks for joining me for the lost episodes of 2019. It's been a fun year of making videos and riding bikes, and I appreciate all the support I've gotten this year. Stay tuned for 2020. We've got more good things to come. I still kind of feel like garbage this morning.